had the honor of meeting. My name is Todd Mazer. I'm Director of Professional Practice here at Good Samaritan. What's that mean? It means I have everything to do with education here. And not just education of our staff, but education of the children that come here from the schools. I am honored to have had these children come through here and to have had them ask me some of the most amazing questions. I myself went to Hal Watkins a very, very long time ago. So Hal Watkins has a soft place in my heart and always will. But it has been an honor meeting your children. They are truly amazing, truly amazing. And I'm thrilled to see a program that helps them to see things in healthcare, to try and get an idea as to what they want to do this early on in life. I wish this was available when I was in school. With that, I want you to introduce Dr. Duncan, if you'd please come on up.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. So happy to see all of you here. Yes, this actually is the fourth wonderful year that we've had this wonderful event. Mr. Nasaka, the CEO, and Wilbur, both from Wells Fargo, and I had a sit down and we talked about the wonderful kids and stuff that was happening at H.L. Watkins and the fact that it would be an unbelievably unique experience and a very important experience to kids in the 8th grade. We know of nowhere else in the whole state where kids at this age are getting this amount of access to the inner workings of a hospital, all these different types of careers, and getting to touch the Da Vinci robot and all these wonderful experiences that you've had. So you guys are very, very, very fortunate, and I've heard awesome feedback about how you guys have been behaving and representing your school, yourselves, and also our T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society. So we're very, very, very proud of what you guys have been doing, and you guys have set a tall bar for the future students coming behind you, so we totally appreciate that. And parents, you should definitely give your kids an applause for their, it's a very select group, that gets to come here, and they go through, they have to meet a lot of criteria to be able to come here and represent, and so I know they've had a wonderful experience, and I look forward to hearing all about it from them. So without any further ado, Todd, do we have a sequence as to which how they're going to come up here and present their experiences?
Thank you, Dr. Duncan.
Sure.
And it's true what Dr. Duncan said. This is our 4th year, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, we don't remember having this many. I was speaking to Mr. Mazer, the educational director extraordinaire, and next year we are going to have a bigger class. It's going to be about double the size. So in 4 short years, we went from about 8 to 9 students. This year we had, I think, 16 that are here today, and next year we're probably going to have close to 30. Maybe. We've talked about it over the summer. But right now what we're going to do is, I'd like each student, and this is for you to come up. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, what you might want to say. This is about you to kind of share your experience. You can bring your board up if you'd like, come up with your board. And after you have your board, if you want to say a few things about your experience. So this is very impromptu. And we'll start from the back. We'll start with Rachel. Come on up.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Rachel. When I was here, I believe this was my 2nd time coming to Good Samaritans, I met an occupational therapist, and her name was Ms. Heidi. Ms. Heidi taught me about lymphedema, so that was my favorite topic out of the entire time I came to Good Samaritan, and that's why I picked it. So, what she taught me was that she taught us, my class and I, about wheelchair management, prosthetic training. If a patient comes out of, let's say, a disability or a car accident, he or she will be able to, let's say if they hurt their leg, they will be able to stretch out their muscles, get them back all steady. My learning stretch reads, when riding to H.L. Watkins in the 6th grade, I had no idea what to expect. That was the same way I felt when the medical academy and I went to Good Samaritans to learn about occupational therapy. There, Ms. Heidi taught us all we need to know about being occupational therapists and what to expect down the road. That's how she likes to put it. When hearing about all the cool things that occupational therapists do, I was excited and maybe even might even pursue a career in it. When Ms. Heidi taught me about occupational therapy, I thought it was, in an office, cold, and like no lunch breaks and all that stuff. But she actually opened my eyes to it, and ever since then I've been reading into it very closely, and I'm like super preparing.
The purpose of my project, it was to teach you guys more about first aid and why I wrote this for my purpose of research mistakes. In MSA, when we learned about first aid, I mentally retained a lot of information pertaining to first aid. First aid involves the types of burns, CPR, and vital signs, respiratory rate, pulse, stuff like that. For instance, first degree burns, we would have to treat them running it under water, and second degree is supposed to be submerged underwater, and third degrees you would have to keep it dry. And learning the basics of CPR, it was very essential towards my success as a medical student, because if I didn't know what CPR did, I really wouldn't be able to help people, stuff like that. And my learning stretch for this poster was very challenging, because I had to think back all the way to the beginning of us learning first aid, and it was easy. First aid is easy to do once you get the proper training. That's what I got from Dr. Ringle. I just got proper training from Dr. Ringle, and overcoming the challenges brought on by this poster project was easy to do just by knowing prior and close knowledge about the topic. Doing first aid was a very great experience for me.
Taught us, so if you can give Don Jankowski, John, if you'd like to take this and take that to your department. That's it, you can actually give it to him. Don, would you like to share anything with us while you're here? I know we don't have every department here with us.
And public speaking. Wanted to remind you of something I learned some years ago. And so he thought he would get a can of soda. So he walked up to the machine and he held his hand out for the longest time, and nothing happened. Held his hand out there and no can of soda, no nothing. And suddenly somebody walked by and he says, "Hey, listen, you got to put some quarters in there in order to get anything." So he put 4 quarters in, and all of a sudden a can of pop came out. The lesson to that is, if you want anything at all, you've got to put some work into it. If you want to get into the sciences, whatever your goal is, you've got to put something into it to get it back. And that's, you're at the brink of that right now, making your decisions as to what college, what high school, what college, what career you're going to be doing. I got that lesson long time ago, and I apply it, and it does work. Thank you for the lovely. I was just telling him about in the years that I've been a respiratory therapist and an instructor, I never received anything like this, and I thank you for it. So, good luck to all of you.
Naya?
I'm Naya, and
learned about occupation therapy by Ms. Heidi. The purpose of my project is to learn about OT, caring for breast cancer patients, body casts, lymphedema, and physical therapy careers. My internship at Good Sam's has helped me understand OT. Before I knew very little about medical careers, I have the proper knowledge that I need now. And I never understood what occupation therapy was until the Samaritan Center showed me and taught me what it was. The mentor showed me how things would work. She also demonstrated how to use things like tools. She helped me really know what occupation therapy was. And when I first got into Medical Science Academy, I was not really shocked because I knew I was smart enough and I had the right behavior. But I thought we would only learn about very little things like the brain and just the bones. I didn't know we would go into so much detail.
Jasmine? And again, this is an impromptu. They are just kind of sharing a little bit with what they learned.
Well, I'm Jasmine, and I got to do labor and delivery, OBGYN, which happened to be one of my favorite topics when coming to Good Samaritan Hospital. I really enjoyed learning that someone could help someone else's life in such a different way. You could help one person's lives and help another at the same time. I just thought that was amazing to me. Before I went to Good Samaritan Hospital, I only had a general understanding of the true in-depth care a neonate really needed, but now I understand important things, such as how important it is to breastfeed your child and how you can get a lot of nutrients from that, and how to properly swaddle them up in a blanket to keep warm. And I also learned how to hold an infant correctly so that you don't harm your infant. I thought it was really interesting how they actually had a real placenta from earlier that day, and you could see what actually came out of someone else. I was a little, I use the word disgusted, but I was a little shocked about it, I guess. I could tell my other students really enjoyed it too. They said things like, I'll always remember this experience, and they loved reenacting the birth in the hospital bed. I also wanted to say that OBGYN and labor delivery was one of the best departments because it ensures the health of mothers and their child. And in a way, it kind of keeps life going on because it ensures that your baby will go on and live and start its own life and one day grow up to be a mother and father too.
The department I made my post-trial was Human Resources, and the mentor was Todd Mazer. Human Resources is probably one of the most important parts of a hospital because it keeps everything together. One of the careers in Human Resources is a HIPAA compliance officer, and what they do is they just keep your information private because without them, everybody would know everything you have in your medical records. And a HIPAA compliance officer, they do a really good job. And I learned a lot of things from this program because I think we got our CPR certification from there. Also some of the quotes that some of the things that our classmates said about this program is that they enjoyed it and it was a great educational experience because it really was. And that's all I have.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christian, and today I'm going to be explaining my poster, which was
was on the radiology department, where the mentor was Dr. Eddie Leach. I really enjoyed this department because it was really explained thoroughly, and he really taught you what you needed to know, and not all extra stuff. And it was really hands-on. Like, you got to see all the machines and what they did and how much it cost to run them, which could cost up to $20,000 to restart an MRI. But during my few short years in the Medical Science Academy, I encountered a lot of obstacles, such as entering my first year in the 6th grade. But after a while, being in a class and getting used to everybody there, I really started to enjoy it. And this program really strengthened my thoughts on the medical field. Like, some quotes are like, visiting Good Samaritan Medical Center and learning about radiology was a great experience. No matter what career I'll go to, I'll look back with joy. And my experience made my knowledge of radiology a lot better. The learning hands-on technique makes my medical career path more fun. If I were to make a career in radiology, my internship at Good Samaritan definitely made it more interesting for me. And 3 years went by really fast, and you know for sure it went by fast if you remember every single thing from the 6th and 7th grade. The purpose of making this poster and explaining this to you today is to recreate and tell you about my experience at the radiology department of Good Samaritan. And the department I have is the best one because of how good it was explained. Dr. Leach really explained everything about the department, such as all the machines and how to use them. This department had to be the best of all of them, and I really enjoyed it. So thank
you. Yes?
Before going to Good Samaritan, I never knew what physical therapy really was about. I just thought yeah, you help people. But physical therapy is actually you don't just help people stretching and all that. You actually really help them. You help support their different body parts. They do different types of exercises. And when I first started the medical program, I thought it was just a class you learn about body systems and the brain. I was wrong. Coming into the medical program was the best thing that I could have ever made. I have learned so much because of my class.
Devontae?
Well, hello everybody. My name is Devontae, and my department was OBGYN with Kathy Wagner. At the end of 5th grade, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I chose the medical academy because my mom was in it. But in the beginning of 6th grade, I started changing. It was a great experience. We did so much things. We did dissections. We went to field trips everywhere. I had a great experience. These past few years came by fast. The beginning of 8th grade, the first time we came to Good Samaritan, I learned so many things with Kathleen Wagner. I learned how to hold a baby carefully. I never knew how to do that. I knew how to change a diaper. I learned so much. My experience as an intern at Good Samaritan medical center was amazing. I learned so much new topics about operating room, emergency room, breastfeeding, cardiac catheterization, so many fascinating things. And I hope to continue in the medical program in high school.
I'm Sydney, and I learned about the respiratory system. And the purpose of my project was to learn about lung anatomy, tidal volume, and how to treat all types of patients with respiratory problems. At the beginning of 6th grade, I remember when we were learning about the brain and central nervous system. That was like my favorite topic, but then we came here and we learned about the respiratory system, and I realized how interesting it was. And we learned from Ginger Griffin that you breathe 21% oxygen all the time, and we inhale every 20 seconds without our brain realizing it, even if we're trying to hold it. And the respiratory system is really interesting, how all the oxygen flows through the whole entire body.
Hello, I'm Asma, and my topic was human resources, and our mentor was Todd Mazer. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be in the medical field. And when I received my acceptance letter at H.L. Watkins Middle School for the Medical Science Academy, I was very excited. I believe that it was the first step into my career. In the 3 years that I've been here at H.L. Watkins, I've learned so much from Dr. Ringel. The purpose of this project is to inform you all about human resources. In the Department of Human Resources, we learn about HIPAA compliance and the codes for the hospital. Human Resources is an important department because it helps patients with keeping their information secure. Before our field trips to Good Samaritan, I didn't really know what human resources was. I didn't understand the importance of HIPAA or the hospital code. However, after learning about the human resources department at Good Samaritan, I now know that this department is the glue that keeps the hospital running. I have learned many essential details from Todd Mazer and the rest of the crew in the department as they gave us an in-depth summary of the key elements. Some of the quotes from our classmates are that my experience at Good Samaritan was awesome. That was by Christian Solo. And the experience at Good Samaritan is truly a fantastic opportunity, and I want to thank you. And that was said by Alyssa Rapp. This department was really exciting to learn about because it is an important part of the hospital.
Jermaine?
Hi, I'm Jermaine, and I did my project on speech therapy, and I mentored Jen. And the purpose of us learning speech
microphones help you speak about your parents because they got had cancer. And my learning skills is about before I got to the medical program, I just wanted to become a doctor and didn't really understand anything about it. But in 6th grade, we started to understand the meaning of helping people and the anatomy of humans and animals. In the 7th grade, I learned about the body and vital signs. In 8th grade, we came to an internship, and the internship pieced everything together with the help of my teacher. Now that I've completed the medical program, it will help me make an easier decision for my career.
Jeannie?
Yeah.
One of the things I learned at Samaritan was about the operating room. I enjoyed this the most because it was more hands-on. I learned about it from David Simpkins, who was an RN, and some quotes from students. The reason I will be successful is partially due to your demonstration. That was asthma. No matter what career I enter, I will look back at my middle school with memories. That was anatomy. Me being successful in healthcare is partially due to your care and support. That was your baby. And I had a blast. I hope to see you again. That was Rachel Norton.
Jay?
My department was radio delivery. Our manager was Melody Hackett, and my learning stretch is before going to Good Samaritan, I thought labor delivery was just about the mother, but after going to Good Samaritan, I learned more about the mother and the baby. And the purpose of my project was that the experience, purpose was to learn more and taught.
Mia?
Good afternoon, my name is Samaritan, and today I have a poster about radiology. And when I first entered in H.L. Watkins, I was new to everything in the medical field. And apparently I didn't know nothing, but that's all I knew. So, for radiology, our instructor was Andy Lech, and he taught us a lot of stuff that I barely even knew about radiology until he opened the doors for me. So apparently, here are the series of letters. One says, Dear Andy Lech, on our field trip to Good Samaritan Medical Center and learn about the radiology was fantastic medical experience. Some of the things I learned are that the MRI never shut off. It cost $2,000 to restart the MRI, and we also learned about sonograms. What I found most interesting was the fact that the MRI is so powerful. I did learn new things about radiology. It was that the MRI is so amazing. No matter what career I will enter, I will look back at middle school with gratefulness. The reason I will be successful in healthcare is partially due to your intelligence. Goes by Ashley Comstock. And here are the other ones. No matter what career I will enter, I will look back at you in middle school with inspiration by Natalie Joden. The reason I will be successful in healthcare is partially due to your intelligence by Ashley Comstock. Some of the things I learned about was the X-rays, sonograms, and CT scans. What I found out most interesting was visualating gallbladder and urinary bladder. It was fun by Jermaine Cox. Visiting Good Samaritan Medical Center and learning about radiology was truly an awesome experience by Kristen Soul. And I will remember you and the helpful deeds you did. And you taught me some things new by Nia Pemberton.
Ashley?
Hi, my name is Ashley, and I did my poster on the operating room. The purpose of my project was actually to just review procedures from initial anesthesia to
procedures and working together as a team. My learning trust is I never understood how complicated it is to work in the operating room until Good Samaritan showed me how it really works. My mentor, Alicia DeVay, taught me all there is to know from sanitation to after operation procedures. She also brought me to realize how serious and educated you must be to work in the operating room. The operating room is the best place for you if you want to have a hands-on experience when saving a life. You need the courage, the brains, the guts, and the emergency thinking strategies. They get very excellent pay, and the gratitude family members, while the patient themselves is lucky to be alive.
Thank you. I think I got all the presenters. But what we would like now is, if any of the department heads are here, I know we don't have a lot of them here today, but if you could just come up, or if you'd like to share any experience that you have. Each department not only are going to get those posters, but they went ahead and each student wrote a letter, very heartfelt letter, and you're going to get a chance to read them all. Every department will get one of these books with individual letters to that department. So if anybody's here, I don't know which departments are showing up, or Todd, do you know if anybody wants to come up? Okay. And then we'll...
You knew I was going to come. I'm the only one here. Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm the operating room director here at Good Sam. So it was an absolute pleasure and a joy to have the students come into the operating room. I was surprised at the amount of knowledge that they knew. I think I'd planned on teaching more of a basic program when we were in the urology room, and the students knew in-depth anatomy of the kidney and were asking questions that blew me away that I hadn't planned for. So, but it's nice to show a side of a department that tends to be a little scary sometimes for a younger person, and cold, and to realize that there's a lot of care that goes into what we do when we do surgery on patients. So we loved it. So can't wait to see the end.
Okay, we're going to be getting ready to finish our program in a moment. Just a couple things. We also have a book to the director, Mark Nasaka. The students really thought about how did all this happen. As Dr. Duncan said earlier, it was a blend of some real wonderful community outreach through the T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society, Wells Fargo, but again, the CEO was the one who ultimately gave us the yay or nay. So the students went ahead and made a book for him. It says Good Samaritan. They even researched and found out he went to Tulane, so he'll get that. And they went ahead and they gave him our yearbook for this year. And each student went ahead and wrote something in it. And on the back page of our yearbook this year, the school went ahead and recognized some of the people who are here. Obviously Good Samaritan, Mark Nasaka, Laurel Cole, who I don't know if she's here. She is works with T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society, Dr. Roger Duncan, Dr. Colette Brown, and some other people who are very instrumental. I'm sure there's more in here. But that's just a little bit of token from the students, not for me, not from the school. It's about what you gave them. So I hope who's ever here from Good Sam, you take that back to your departments or share it with your departments, because you did make a difference. And it is about the students. So I thank you on behalf of H.L. Watkins. I know we have our principal here today, Dr. Don Hoffman, who's a real big supporter. He's another person who was instrumental in making all this happen. So I just want to thank those people. I'm concluded, so thank you. Dr. Duncan?
Okay. So first, before we get to the awards portion of the event, what I also wanted to tell all of the department heads who are here, and I guess Todd, you can pass it on to the others, departments who are not. We are going to be providing lunch, like on Friday, from 2J's to all the different departments here, the ER, the OR, to thank them on behalf of the students here who had such a wonderful experience. You guys really have consistently gone above and beyond and really inspired some minds and some big brains. You know, you guys heard the reports from all of the students on what an impact that this experience has had on them and for them and how they're going to use it in their future. So we wanted to tell you guys thanks so much. We definitely appreciate all of your efforts. And now what we're going to be doing is to recognize each of the students for their accomplishment in completing this in such a wonderful manner, and that's with two different things. What I'm going to have Dr. Huffman and Dr. Rankel inside each box, you'll see the name, and then we'll announce them and they'll come up, and I guess we'll get photos for them. And I guess Todd and I will present. I guess our first individual in Jamie Sama. And so what we have for each of the students here is their own personalized stethoscope that they'll be able to use and savor for years and years from now, as well as a sphygmophonometer or a blood pressure cuff, okay? So you can, in a positive way, play doctor, okay? With your principal and next to your principal.
Come a little forward.
Fantastic. Okay.
More. Got it.
Sure.
Next is asthma specialty. Jade Barrett. Jasmine Dreyer. Rachel Martin.
Dave Smith. Tally. Yeah. Tally Williams. Naya Pemberton.
Okay. Somebody's a proud. I think it was Cass.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. I mean, in the middle of the night, she feels good. She leaves what time? Break the lines.
Kathleen Gilliker. Mia Rezepi. Ashley Comstock.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first time the 2015 Good Samaritan interns. Come on in, let's get a big group picture. Yep.
Well, thank you. I feel like I did that. Girls, here my students will be 10 times better. Are we going now?
My name is Dr. Nathan Ringel, and I'm just going to comment on how the amazing program, the partnership between the Good Samaritan Medical Center and the T. Leroy Jefferson Society funded program has inspired our school, H.L. Watkins Middle School. I can honestly say, after participating in this program, the lives of the students in our school has been changed forever. Not only has it been changed in knowledge, in-depth understanding of a hospital environment here at Good Samaritan Medical Center, but it changed the trajectory of their lives in the sense that they are going to take with them what they have forever, and they'll continue on in any medical or healthcare occupation and always look back on the experience that the Good Samaritan Medical Center provided. So I want to thank you.
My name is Todd Mazer. I'm Director of Professional Practice here at Good Samaritan Medical Center. I wanted to thank Dr. Duncan and Dr. Ringel for their involvement in this program. We had an absolute blast showing these students everything we possibly could about Good Samaritan Medical Center. I look very much forward to exactly where in medical science these students will end up in the future. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Christian Sodal, and I go to Howell Watkins Middle School for the Medical Science Academy.
And recently I've enrolled in an internship program with Dr. Ringel and Good Samaritan Medical Center. And I also learned a lot about the departments and everything that they really do at this hospital, and they really inspired me to follow the medical career. They really explained in depth of what I could possibly do and how to do it in every career field in the medical program. I really enjoy this program because it explained a lot to me, and it really made me happy to be in a medical program. And ever since 6th grade, when I first joined, I always wanted to be in the medical field, and I'm really proud for what this program did for me.
Hi, I'm Melody Hackett. I'm Director of Obstetrical Services at Good Samaritan Medical Center, and I've been involved with your program for the past 3 years actually now. I've really enjoyed it. I've been so impressed about how well prepared the students have been when they come up to our OB unit, and I love what they take away from it. They get some hands-on experience, and they learn about placenta and the anatomies and physiology, and it really kind of puts it together, what they're learning in the classroom and they're seeing it firsthand in the hospital. And it's been such a great program, and I certainly hope we keep it going and really have enjoyed the students very much.
Our next presentation is for graduates of the unique partnership with the T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society and Good Samaritan Medical Center. We have 16 8th graders from Howard Watkins Middle School's Medical Science Academy who have graduated from the 4th class of an innovative and unique externship program conducted in collaboration with the T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society and Good Samaritan Medical Center. Students receive unprecedented access to sites such as the operating room, the emergency room, the cardiac catheterization lab, and they also participated in the simulation of a patient being anesthetized and intubated. In obstetrics, they participated in mock deliveries with full instrumentation, and much more. This unprecedented exposure to healthcare careers and patient care helped the students gain exposure to exceptional perspectives of healthcare careers. Now with us today that we knew were coming, Christian Soto, Asma Shalibi, Devontae Smith, and Sydney Santoro, along with several other members of this outstanding externship program. Externship administrators and staff present this evening: Dr. Don Hoffman, Principal of Howard Watkins, Dr. Nathan Ringel, Medical Instructor, Dr. Roger Duncan of the T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society as President. Mr. Mark Masaki, CEO, could not join us today, but Mr. Todd Mazer, Education Coordinator of Good Samaritan Medical Center, are all present. At the graduation ceremony, the students received certificates of completion from the Good Sam Medical Center, as well as, if you've noticed in here, their own personalized stethoscopes. Please join me in congratulating these and all the graduates of the externship program. Congratulations to these and all the graduates of the externship program, and much appreciation to the T. Leroy Jefferson Medical Society, Good Samaritan Medical Center, and business ally and supporter William Bourbeau of Wells Fargo Private Banking for their support of our students.